from everyone. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Temple Akiba of Culver City, whether you're here in our congregation in person, whether you're watching us via live stream, we welcome you. My name is Rabbi Zach Shapiro, here with Cantor Lonnie Freilich. And on a night like tonight, we get to kind of hang back and take it all in because we are honored that our Shabbat service will be led in most part by our men's group. Our Torah portion this Shabbat is called Bahar, which means on the mountaintop. And I often feel like the wisdom and the life and the vision that is gifted to us by our incredible men's group is as though they are on the mountaintop, Bahar, looking out for the best that is Temple Akiba and giving us their best. And so in tonight's service, our liturgy, our prayers, even our Devar Torah will be offered by the incredible leaders who enable Temple Akiba and our light to shine ever so brightly together. We're going to open with the singing of Ledor Vador. It's on page 130. It's actually part of the liturgy of a morning service, so you'll notice it says Shabbat morning there. And about 2/3 down the page is this beautiful song. It means from generation to generation. And that's what our men's group is about, imbuing each generation with a sense of light and goodness. Again, page 130. נצחים קדושתך נקדיש ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד לעולם ועד לדור ועדו נצחים קדושתך נקדיש ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש an honor to invite forward to lead us in the candle blessings, followed by the Kiddush. For the candle blessings, our synagogue president, Kathy Penzo, and for Kiddush, our sisterhood president, Linda Park. We're on page 2, everyone, page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Continuing on page 5, everyone, we invite all who are able to rise for our Kiddush.
Okay, wait, this is too much. You get to hold that. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hilanu zikaron ha'ma'aseh bereshit ki hu yom tehila Lamikra e kodesh, zecher l'tziyat Mizraim, kivanu v'charta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, B'ahava uvratzon hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim.
Please be seated, everyone. Thank you both so much. We're going to continue now on page 10 with the singing of Hine Matov. How wonderful it is that we're all here together as a community and family.
Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה.
Continuing on page 20, as we welcome Shabbat, we think about the Kabbalists of Tzfat, who, as the sun would set on Fridays, would go out and actually dance in celebration of this wonderful gift from God that we have, a reminder to pause one day in 7. As a reminder of what they used to do, it's the custom for Jews all over the world, when we get to the final verse, to rise and face the entryway. I actually grew up thinking that when we rose to face the entry, it was to greet the people who came in a few minutes late to services.
That's true too.
Who here's been guilty of that? Me, all right. But it is nice. We rise and we face the entry, and we allow Shabbat to enter our hearts. So we are on page 20, everyone.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmiyanu el ham yuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemu tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, berosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 5. Hi toreri, kiva orech umi ori, uri shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi לחדותי לקרוא כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לחדותי לקרוא כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Rise and face the entry.
We're on verse 9. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, קם בשמחה ובסהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקרוא כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקרוא כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Except for Ira Pemstein, please be seated, everyone. Ira, if you'll come forward and lead us in the Chatzi Kaddish, we're on page
26.
Thank you, page 26.
Get me on mic. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
All right, here we go. Yitgadal, Yikadash, Shomer Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma divra kirute, ve'amlich malkute. B'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchai hetechol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman karim, v'yimeru.
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam u'almei omaya, Yitbarach.
Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpar, v'yitraman, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, Shemei d'Kudusha,
Brichu.
Le'ala min chol berchata v'shirata,
Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiram be'alma.
v'yimeru.
Amen.
Thank you, Ira. We're going to continue with our, thank you so much, Ira. We're going to continue with our formal call to worship at the Baruch Hu. It's on page 28, and we invite the congregation to rise once again.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la. Ya 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 la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
Except for Barry, everyone please be seated. Barry's going to lead us in a reading of the Ahavat Olam, our prayer for love, which the prayer is in our prayer books, but his version, his rendition is not.
Yes.
Ahavat Olam. We are loved by an unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved by an unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved by an unending love. Embraced, touched, soothed, counseled, ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices, ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. And speaking of love, Herman Barnathan, I hope you're watching on YouTube. We know you're going through troubles, but we love you dearly, and get well soon.
We love you, Herman. Barry, that was beautiful. Thank you. It's important for everyone to know that at least 10 years ago, if not more, Barry was on our board of trustees representing adult education. That was your thing. And as part of that, he began to form a group of guys together, which became the genesis of the men's group. And initially, when you would report to the board for adult education, you gave a little report about adult education, but then the report on the men's activities got bigger and bigger until we finally realized we need a men's group. So Barry, all of this is because of a vision that you created many years ago. Thank you. We continue with words of Shema Yisrael, the watchword of our faith. In our prayer books, it's on pages 34 and 35. We invite all who are able to please rise.
Shema Yisrael. Ooh, let's try that again. Shema. Ooh, I'm thinking of another version. Shem.
Sorry, is that the one you're...
I don't think I'm thinking of another one.
That's what we're doing here.
Shema. There we go. Yisrael. That's it. Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai. Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod. Shem Kevod. Malchuto. Leolam. Leolam Vaed. And please be seated. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. And thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, and thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and when thou risest up, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes, and thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that he may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
Jerry Weiner will come forward now to chant the Hebrew of the Via Havta. We're on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשפתך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוניכם אמת.
Thank you so much, Jerry. We appreciate it. We now invite forward Ira Waldman, who will lead us in a reading in anticipation of our Micha Mocha prayer.
If you don't recognize it, this is going to be God speaking. But that's not me. It's the prayer. My son, if you will receive my words and treasure my commandments, so that if you incline your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding, indeed, if you cry after knowledge and lift up your voice for understanding, if you seek her, the knowledge, like silver, and search for her as for hidden treasures, then shall you understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth comes knowledge and understanding.
Continuing now on page 40 with the Micha Mocha.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar v'kodesh, Nora tehilot seifele, Nora tehilot seifele. Back to Yalalais. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Malachutecha uvanecha, keyayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, ze Elianu ve'ameru, ze Elianu ve'ameru. Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
Modern Zionist Achad Ha'am once taught, more than the Jewish people has kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people. That's what our covenant of Shabbat is really about. We sing about it on page 44 with the Vishamru, the song about keeping Shabbat.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשו אדוני, עשו אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבות וינפש, שבות וינפש, שבת וינפש. שמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We're going to now continue with our Amidah section, beginning on page 46. And Therese and Charlene, we invite the two of you to come forward who will be leading us, and we invite the congregation to please rise. Oh, got it. Yes.
I'm not used to it, but you can go ahead and play. Okay. page 46. Ready? שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו
אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, אלוהי לאה, האל הגדול,
הגיבור והנורא אל עליון גומר חסדים טובים וקונה הכל
וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר מושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע מחלחל חיים בחסד מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Friends, we're going to remain standing, and if we open to page 253, I'm sorry, page 259, page 259, Charlene and Therese are going to lead us in the prayer for our homeland.
The state of Israel.
Which one?
259.
Okay. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fulfillment of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו, ברך את מדינת ישראל ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו. הגן הגן עליה בעברת חסדך, ופרוס ופרוס עליה סוכת סוכת שלומך. ושלח אורך בעמיתך לראשיה, שריה ויועציה, ותקנם תקנם בעצה טובה, בעצה טובה מלפניך. ונתת שלום בארץ, ושמחת עולם ליושביה, ושמחת עולם ליושביה, ונאמר אמן.
That was so beautiful. Please be seated, everyone. We are going to take a moment now in our own private way to allow the sounds that we've heard to resonate inside of our souls. We can use the words in our liturgy, in our prayer books, if we so choose, between the pages of 42 and, between the pages of 40, between the pages of 52 and 62, or else just take the opportunity to pray what's in our hearts. When I was growing up in the 70s, we used to sing this version of Oseh Shalom, and all of us knew that it was the same version that Moses sang at Mount Sinai. I mean, this was the traditional one. And when I found out that it was written in 1973, I was floored.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. 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 יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Jerry Mendel, Mendel, if you'll come forward to offer a reading. Hey, Jerry.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
The Hasidim tell a story of the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov would go into the woods, light a sacred fire, and pray to find an answer to a particularly weighted problem. In this way, he found insight to his dilemma. His successor would go to the same place in the woods and say, "We no longer remember how to light the fire, but we can still say the prayer." That sufficed, and he also found his answer. His successor would go to the same place in the woods, but could not light the fire or remember the prayer, and said, "That will have to suffice." And it did. In the fourth generation, the rabbi stayed home and said, "The fire we can no longer light, the prayer we no longer know, nor do we remember the place. All we can do is tell the tale," and that too proved sufficient. What happens when the tale itself is no longer told? What happens when we no longer have storytellers to tell the tales?
There are many people who are sitting here in our kahal, in our holy space, whether in person or online. And there are people who we're thinking about who have imbued our hearts with so much goodness. We offer for all of them a prayer of healing. On page 253, right in the center, we offer this prayer. We offer this prayer of hope, of wholeness, of completeness, asking for God to send healing to the sick and wisdom to those who are in care of the sick. We'll share the song together, the prayer, and when we get to the center, if there are names of people you know, please share those names out loud.
Source of
what an honor it is to invite forward Louis Forsythe, who is going to be speaking to our congregation tonight. I love it when Louis and Arlene are at any kind of study session with me, because I can sit back and I actually take a lot of notes while both of them are talking. They have gentle, timeless wisdom, and all of us are going to be able to benefit from your insights today. Louis, Shabbat Shalom. Let me help you up here.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And I'd like to extend a special Temple Akiba welcome to my three sisters who are watching online tonight all over the country. The parsha this week is Bahar, as the rabbi said, translated as in the mountain, he mentioned, and sometimes in context could be on the mountain Sinai, or out Mount Sinai. It is the next to the last chapter in the book of Leviticus, which is, it's the next to last chapter in Leviticus, which is the third of the 5 books of Moses, okay? And in this chapter, the priests are telling what God instructed Moses to do, especially applying the principles of Shabbat to other societal activities, things we might not have thought of doing ourselves. So, as is the case for most parshas, many topics are addressed in Bahar. Like that one. And to facilitate study, I would make a recommendation that Torah be modernized by separating each topic instead of jumbling them all together in one parsha. That is, we can bring from the scriptures from the different parts of Torah to make it easier to understand each topic. In Bahar, there are 3 that were important in their day and are perhaps even more relevant today. So today, we will examine 2 of these briefly and one of them in more depth. These are agriculture, herein known as the John Deere Parsha, economics, now known as the Warren Buffett Parsha, and slavery, now known as the Scarlett O'Hara Parsha. Agriculture. Perhaps the most famous teaching here is that the farmers should tend their soil for 6 years and then let the land lie fallow for the 7th year, Shabbat. The farmers are allowed to take from the fields whatever is growing without their tending, as well as whatever they saved up over the years. This actual wisdom has come down through the ages and manifests itself today in the modern world in various implementations of crop rotation strategies, which is quite important. So, John Deere tractors allow farmers to plow their fields and replenish their land as God and the John Deere corporate executives intended. Economics. Another major concept in Bahar is that of the Jubilee year, which occurs every 50 years, which is Shabbat times Shabbat plus 1. And here, properties are redeemed to their original owners and clans are reunited, and it makes for a large number of financial transactions. God's really lengthy lectures and the economic implications are so complex and convoluted that it boggles my mind that Moses could have understood it all without taking notes. No doubt, the Levites who did not become priests must have become accountants or stockbrokers. Seriously, though, I think that persons with the genius and common sense of Warren Buffett could sort through the underlying principles of these rules and find a path to an Israeli-Palestinian two-state solution. I think it's in there somewhere. But it's really tough. I mean, it's slavery. In Genesis and Exodus, Torah describes the rules under which an Israelite can be the master of an Israelite slave. You know, if I were such a slave, I wonder if I would celebrate Passover. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, in Bahar, God gives Moses the following directive. Your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. That is, Israelites can have non-Israelite slaves. Now I know that this sounds terrible, but it was a great step forward for humanity, and it became a model used in colonial America for the indentured servants. Masters paid the servants passage to the New World and provided food, clothing, and lodging in exchange for a limited term of service. Slaves in Israel often volunteered to be slaves, negotiated terms and conditions, became members of the master's family. They received income and obtained benefits, including a spouse benefit, and the opportunity to raise a family. Above all, slaves were not to be mistreated. Had Scarlett O'Hara and her ilk followed Torah, American history in the South might not have been so windy. You get that? Windy? Yeah. All right. Unfortunately, the topic of slavery is still a matter of grave concern, and some religious groups still believe in enslaving others as God's will. Worse yet, human and sex trafficking is a big business worldwide. There are two other passages in Exodus which I would now like to nominate to be part of the new Scarlett O'Hara slavery parsha. In Exodus, we learn that if a slave was given a wife, he could not take her or their children at the end of his 7th year. But he could keep his wife and children if he declared himself to be a slave for life. Then the master would brace the servant's head on the doorpost and puncture the slave's earlobe with a sharp tool. Kind of like this. Yes. In Parsha Bahar, this tool is called an awl.
Louis, use the microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Thank you. In Bahar, this tool is called an awl. In the Scarlett O'Hara Parsha, it's called a U-Haul. That's what they would do. it was actually a good deal for the slave. For a few minutes of discomfort, he got a family that loved him and a master who guaranteed lifetime financial support. In another Exodus passage, the rules are set down for how a man is to sell his daughter into slavery. I can imagine that this would make for a difficult dinner conversation. Well, it was in the text, but the rabbis really didn't like this plan. And so to effectuate such a sale, they needed to fulfill three requirements. The first was that the father had to be in dire straits, severe poverty. Second was that the daughter needed to be prepubescent. Try translating that. And the third is that the would-be master must intend to marry the girl when she becomes of age. This third requirement, when you translate it into Yiddish, if you'll pardon my French, nicht Gruppe, nicht Stuppe. Even if sold, the girl would be better off financially than with her impoverished father. Okay. In conclusion, since there is much detail in Parsha Bahar, as well as consideration of difficult societal issues, I would recommend that follow-up questions be directed to the rabbi, and that the Parsha be renamed the Rabbi Job Security Parsha. Shabbat Shalom. Let me take my things here.
Props and everything. It's now my honor to invite forward, representing our congregational leadership, Wendy Shamsis. Hello, Wendy Senelik. Sorry, Wendy, if you're watching. Wendy Senelik. And Wendy is here representing our Board of Trustees. She's our recording secretary. And Shabbat Shalom.
You're welcome. What mic shall I use? Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I am Wendy Senelik. I am here delighted to be representing the board. Thank you, Rabbi and Cantor, for a beautiful service. Thank you, Men's Group. This has been incredible and so much fun to see all of you taking turns up here and being so brave and having such beautiful singing voices. Very impressive. Thank you, Kathy, for lighting the candles. Thank you, Linda, for leading the Kiddush. Thank you, Men's Group, for hosting tonight's Oneg. Come and have some snacks and chit-chat afterwards. We'd love to see you. Is anyone here for the first time tonight? Anyone new to Temple Akiba? Hello in the back. Welcome, welcome. Come chat with us after so we can give you the official Temple Akiba welcome. A couple announcements. Coming up on Friday, May 31st at 6:30 is a Bluegrass Shabbat with guest artists Justin Stein and Hazan Mike Stein. Toe tapping, bluegrass, Shabbat. Incredible service, and the whole family will love it. Saturday, June 1st from 7 to 10:30 is a night out in Tel Aviv. If you have not bought your tickets yet, you should do it because we're going to be talking about it all year, how amazing the event was, and you'll have wished you were there. So just buy your tickets. They're still available. A night of really good food, really good music, dancing, casino games, prizes, surprises, all of it. Join us. And then we also have Beach Shabbat coming up on Friday, June 28th. If I forgot anything, I'm sure someone will remind me and I'll tell you later. So have a great evening. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Friends, our concluding prayers begin with the Aleinu on page 282. We invite the congregation to rise once again. We start about halfway down the page.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated, everyone. On page 290, it is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and know to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. We remember now friends and family of our community who have died, who continue to shine upon us from their eternal resting spaces. We begin with those for whom we are in Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, including Gloria Schwartz, Paulette Gessen, and Jack Wexler. Is there anyone here who is observing Shloshim the first 30 days? Steve Silvers. Yes, the Israeli soldiers. Cynthia Chabet. Alan Schlossberg. I'm so sorry to learn about these recent losses. We add to their names the yard sites, the anniversaries of the deaths that occur on this Shabbat, beginning with those who have plaques in our Erfring Memorial Room: Molly Baltimore, Tilly Herman, Leah Hoffman, David Horlick, Ernie Jenkins, Mary Kaltman, Bess Canner, Anna Katz, Philip Lazarus, Robert Margolin, Charles Naar, Anna Pink, Al Rapport, Arthur Rosengard, Benjamin Smargan, Robert Sokoloff, and Samuel Summers. We also remember Mary Abramoff, Elaine Bernstein, Ida Brown, Saul Kamp, Rabbi Morley Feinstein, Estelle Farias, Linda Fish, Faye Fox, Jack Goldman, Jean Krinicki, Lillian Krasinski, Emma Lackman, Milton Michelson, Margaret Molnar, Kenneth Natkin, Helena Padower, Sondra Paller, Harry Rainier, Mark Rosenfeld, Nancy Ross, Stephen Shred, June Sapsis, my grandma Ann Shapiro, Janet Silverstein, Beatrice Steelman, Lynn Sylvan, Sylvia Weiss, Maurice White, Sarah Zwerin. Are there additional yard sites those here are observing? Turning now to page 294, we rise as a congregation for the Mourner's Kaddish. Before we recite, it's appropriate as we enter Memorial Day weekend to remember that, yes, there's Memorial Day sales and barbecues, but Memorial Day is Memorial Day. And it's a day to remember those who died serving our country so that we may be free. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad divrach rotei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, bagalau v'yizman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam oamei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei dekudasha b'richu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to one another, we create peace on earth as well. For all Israel and for all humanity, we say,
Amen.
Amen. Please be seated, everyone.
Tonight we'll be closing our service with the singing of Adon Olam, which can be found on page 321. Adon Olam, Hashem Allah, B'terem kol Yitzir nivra, Eid nasa, V'chefso kol, Hazai melech, Hazai melech, Shemo nikra, Ve'acharei kichlot hakol, Levado yimloch nora, Ve'hu haya
אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא ליהי נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ויחרי כבלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה ותפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא ליהי נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא כבלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה ותפארה והוא היה והוא הווה ותפארה
והוא אחד ואין שני להמשילו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא הוס והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גולי וצור חבלי מבשרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ליום אקרא בידו אפקיד רוחי ותישן ואירה ועם רוחי כביאתי אדוני לי ולא אירא אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא ליהי נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ויחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה ותפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא ליהי נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ויחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה ותפארה והוא היה והוא הווה ותפארה והוא היה והוא הווה ותפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא All right, everyone, we've got one final bracha, one blessing. Please join us in Motzi. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat
Please
shalom.